Did you have any second thoughts?
Actually, I did.
Here, all right, we are rolling now. All right, so I guess we're here talking about Bridgman's second thoughts. He voted yesterday or something, day before.
I voted yesterday.
Yesterday.
Early voting.
Voted for plutocracy.
I voted for Hillary Rodham.
He took plutocracy now a little too
You
serious.
made the right choice, Bridgman.
I voted for Hillary Rodham Clinton. And honestly, I was a little torn. I went on the way up to the voting location. I had in my mind made up. I was like, yeah, I'm definitely voting for Hillary.
You couldn't wait though. We should have made a pact to wait until we had this.
Well, it's like
all of us. That
I don't have a lot
great.
of time. It's like Wednesday, Sundays are my only day off.
Yeah.
Georgia doesn't have Sunday voting, so
fair enough.
I didn't want to wait till
it's too late now.
I didn't want to wait until the actual day of the election like a damn conservative.
And then you're then your tire goes flat, and all of a sudden, next Bernie Sanders is president. But
as I stood there in the voting booth, I looked down at my options, and I was contemplating. It was like my mind wasn't made up. I sat there and I looked down. And I was like,
What made you hesitate?
I don't know. I was actually there. You have it in your mind that you're gonna do something, and then you don't hesitate until it's actually the moment of, like when you get married, So.
Hold on. Somebody got married since the last time we did a recording.
That's me. Good old Brian.
Brian.
I'm hitched.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I got stainless steel on my fingers, so I ain't going nowhere.
I'm
locked down.
Your ring is made out of stainless steel?
Stainless steel.
Oh, wow.
Less than $1. That's real love.
That is real love.
Yeah, actually, that's pretty...
My girl don't love me like that. But yeah, back to my...
back to the primary,
electoral situation. And I was thinking wow, maybe Bernie Sanders could be the guy for me. I like everything he says. In fact, on an individual basis, I think I'm more in line to the political ideology of Bernie Sanders than Hillary Clinton. But
no.
disappointed Joey.
In my personal politics,
my fellow
you disappointed both of us. I guess you voted Bernie, but
putting your personal politics aside.
Yeah, how'd you do that?
Yeah.
But I didn't put my personal politics aside. I put because Hillary Clinton is in line with my politics as well. But when it comes down to it, I voted for Hillary Clinton because I feel like she can win. I feel like she has the best chance to go against if some fluke happens and Donald Trump is not the Republican nominee and we have a semi-serious candidate, I like my chances better with Hillary Clinton. Because
now we're talking about electability then.
Anybody. Any Democrat.
I used to agree. I used to totally agree. Here's the thing. I'm telling you, 2 weeks ago, I would have totally agreed. That's the thing. And I was like, it's either going to be Bernie or Hillary. Long ago. I still have money on Hillary being our next president. So if she is elected our next president, I got $100 coming my way.
That's I wish that you would vote.
But if she's not, I lose $100.
Yes. You should put your vote where your money is.
Well, first off, I made that vote in 2013.
Maybe
it was 2012. So this is way before I ever thought Bernie was going to run. But just think about it. It's looking, so you guys pretty much think Trump's going to be the nominee. Is that consensus?
Unfortunately, unless Marco Rubio, if all the Jeb Bush people and all of the Carson people and all of the Kasich people go towards Rubio, then maybe he has a chance. But right now, it's either looking like maybe Ted Cruz, but probably Donald Trump.
Yeah, my last look at the prediction markets on PredictWise showed 75% chance likelihood of Donald Trump, 20% chance of Rubio, 5% chance of Cruz, and pretty much 0% for anyone else. So a 3-man race.
Yeah, I don't want to make any... I think Trump, but I don't count any of them out.
Well, if you're thinking about electability, you want to think about who you're up against, don't you? Oh, God damn it.
Yeah.
Well, definitely. And like I said before, Martin O'Malley could have beat Donald Trump.
Hold on,
but
Scott, so your argument seems to be then that you think that Trump would do worse against Sanders specifically. That if it was another candidate, if it was Rubio, then it might as well be Clinton. But because it's Trump,
I think
Sanders is the
Rubio
best
would be a
candidate.
lot closer. I think Rubio probably has the best chance of beating Sanders and probably Clinton too.
Yeah, and Clinton. I do agree.
But the thing is, I think Donald Trump could hit like Hillary Clinton's Achilles heel like just over and over. I feel like he could hit her from like, I mean, first, on the Iraq War, he could be swinging from the right and the left. He can, he's crazy, and he doesn't matter what he says. He doesn't care about the facts, and his supporters don't care about the facts, and we already know that. So he's just going to be making all these crazy accusations, targeting independents, and she's going to be just trying to dispute them the whole time, and he's just going to be throwing out more and more. And think about the money in politics aspect. He's been involved with them. He'll probably be there saying that he corrupted Hillary.
And
like, didn't she go to his wedding or something like that? I mean, they go hang out. He golfs with Bill Clinton. Like, he's part of the plutocracy, and he's gonna rub that in because look at him.
I would
feel like
also,
it's gonna be rough for Hillary, Donald versus Hillary.
If it is Trump, I would rather see Bernie debating Trump than Hillary debating Trump. I really would.
No, see, so far, we've seen Hillary Clinton debating Bernie Sanders, and Hillary Clinton's been trying to do this sort of middle-of-the-way kind of thing, and Bernie Sanders has been hitting her, and she just looks terrible. But as soon as she's the person that's arguing for liberalism, and she gets to be the person
then she
that's
can
taking
move to
on
the
Donald
right
Trump.
to appease enough.
Well, the problem right now is that the Republicans can't really take on Trump because they largely agree with him, and so they don't want to sit there and say that he's wrong. Hillary Clinton can
I
actually
don't know
walk
if
in there and
that's
say,
true. I mean,
"Actually, you're completely wrong."
No,
with
I
all these
don't
things."
think that's
And the
true.
fact that she went to his wedding, I mean, that's the kind of thing that you can laugh off. That gives more
I
evidence.
mean, he's
to
given
her
how much
not
money? How
having
much
her
money has he given to Hillary?
vote spot out.
How much money has he given to the Clinton Foundation?
I don't know the exact. I don't know the exact amount, but that's.
Well, the foundation.
This idea that he's buying politicians left and right, and the only piece of evidence he has is that Hillary showed up to his wedding.
That's not
I
going to be
mean,
the only piece
Hillary
of evidence.
can turn that
I mean,
into a joke in a debate just like
that's just I don't know about their personal experience, but I know. Yeah, well, I hope so. But she doesn't seem as good of a comedian as Bernie Sanders by far. I mean.
Yeah, but do voters really want a comedian? I mean, think
no,
about.
Well, that's what you said. You said she's going to throw it off as a joke.
Yeah, well, but she
But
clearly
he's going to be able to throw 30 of these a day, no matter what.
We've
The
seen-
facts really don't matter, and she's going to be swinging to those. Bernie could take the high ground in a way that Hillary can't, because she's been in the mud. She's so much part of the establishment, whereas Trump looks like he's outside of it, but he's also been involved enough with it where he can, point it out but say that he's above that corrupting influence.
If there's anything that we've seen Hillary do really well so far, it's that she's able to counterpunch, she's able to act on her feet. When Bernie throws all these lines at her, she has a way of responding to it, and I think she'd be able to do that with Trump, especially on something that's as obvious as the fact that she showed up to his wedding. But I don't think that you thought very much about how Sanders would go up against Trump.
Okay,
and how
so he
bad that would
donated
look.
at least $100,000 to the Clinton Foundation. So, I mean, of course, that's,
Yeah, which
It's
is
nothing-
which is a
it's just it's a charity. It's
it's a charity. So
But
I just don't think that's going to
doesn't
take it
that
very
not
far.
make him look? Doesn't that make him look less credible than her?
He's the one giving. I mean, Trump's not going to spin it that way. That's not going to be, and Hillary's not going
But
to call.
she can.
She's.
I mean, she knows what she's doing, and if you have Bernie running against Trump, I just want to point out that he's untested on the national stage. There are things about him that Democrats don't care that much about that Republicans will care about. There's things that if you go deep into his background, such as the fact that he supported unilateral disarming of America's nuclear arms, or the fact that he supported a nationalization of America's major industries back in 1980. The number of things that are in his past that are going to freak people out, not just Republicans, but independents and moderates.
And I do agree. And that's the
So
reason
does that all
why.
terrify you? Is the things he said, before we were born?
I don't think that he believed. I don't.
Does that worry
I actually
you
think
still
that he flip
at this
flopped.
point, as opposed to things that Hillary Clinton has done in the past 15 years?
I think Bernie Sanders has flip flopped on all those issues, so I'm not personally terrified. But you've got to convince.
I think he was
independents and moderates
Here's
that he
all right.
has
Here's what I got to
chance.
say about a lot of those things. First off, he was pretty much like a lone leftist almost in the House and in the Senate. Like he's strategic in a way that Democrats aren't, and this is part of the problem why Democrats really need to go with Bernie, because otherwise they're going to keep doing this low expectations thing that doesn't inspire voters, doesn't inspire any midterm turnout. It's a bad negotiating starting place from the first point. I mean, luckily Bernie's at least Hillary's getting better on healthcare. She's supports public option now all of a sudden, which is awesome.
I thought she always.
She
did.
always has supported.
Well,
public
now
option.
she maybe
In
she
the 90s she
supported
did.
it, but now it's part of her plan. I mean, yeah. Oh, well, in the 90s, but
In the 90s,
come on, we can't.
she was the
I mean,
poster
she's
child
supported-
for universal healthcare.
She supported this for a while.
Yeah.
And she has a plan to give a $5,000 tax credit for out-of-pocket expenses, which
I
would
know.
lower people's
No, I'm
insurance
not gonna
prices
say-
by
I'm
a lot.
saying-
In fact, the Obamacare model came as a reaction to her original healthcare plan.
Yeah.
So
She's been all. I mean,
Yeah.
not to have this go into policy, but
I mean, we can go a little bit. I know that's what you want to do. Come on, God damn it, Joey.
No, I mean,
I'm just saying there are
said
larger things. Because at the end of the day, all the policy is going to be made through the sausage factory. It's not going to come out.
Let me ask you something broader. I went on 538.com's website today. This is Nate Silver's website.
Mm-hmm.
And last time I checked, you've got, for the endorsement primary, 466 significant Democratic people, insiders, politicians. 466 have endorsed Hillary Clinton. 2 have endorsed Bernie Sanders.
is that the superdelegate count?
No, this is not the superdelegate count.
Which
This
is
is
astronomically biased.
Although that
these are
also
still
is very
all-
heavily
I
towards
mean,
Hillary
look,
Clinton.
Bernie
what I'm
has-
curious about is why is it their goal is to win this election? Why is it that all the insiders and the experts think that Hillary Clinton should be the nominee and
Well,
not him?
I want to ask them 6 months ago where Trump would be today. The same pretty much reason.
Yeah,
You know,
you're
people
right.
totally
So
underestimate
that's
the political
your
climate
argument.
and the
So-
changes of that. I think a lot of the games are. I mean, this is why I've had this disagreement. I wish Steen was here because me and him have been disagreeing about Bernie's viability since the beginning, just because he thought the campaign wasn't being run very well. But that's not where Bernie's strength really comes from.
So experts got one thing wrong, and therefore we're not going to trust them on anything?
No, I'm saying it's very. I mean, that's today's political climate. And it's for the very same reason. I mean, people compare Trump and Bernie for a reason because they both are hitting this populist nerve that. It comes down to plutocracy, to inequality, the things we've always been talking about.
Well, obviously I disagree, but here's another thing to think about. Foreign policy. Republicans unfairly have historically been seen as strong on foreign policy, which is total crap because they're just really irresponsible in foreign policy. But people see that as strong, and all the bluster and everything, they see that as strong. But Hillary Clinton is seen as strong and seen as knowledgeable on foreign policy. Bernie
she'll
Sanders,
bomb a motherfucker, dude.
Bernie Sanders
Well,
going
yeah,
against
she
Donald
will
Trump.
bomb some motherfuckers.
But you don't know what kind of attack is going to happen between now and Election Day, what things could happen on the international scene that could make that the number one issue. And at that point, Trump, unfortunately, has an advantage in voters' eyes over Bernie Sanders.
Actually, a lot
he
of
does
them,
not have that advantage over Hillary
For
Clinton.
Republicans, it already is the number one issue. That and immigration, terrorism and immigration are the two issues that are at the top tier of the GOP debate right now. And honestly, everybody's worried about Trump, but it's so many groups of people in this country that he has spoken negatively to. In order for him to come beyond and build a national coalition.
Man, I called up a Hispanic dude the other day who just started yelling Trump at me.
And that is...
He just started screaming Trump. I saw a Hispanic dude down the street with a big-ass Trump sticker on his truck. I'm like, it doesn't always make sense.
They got coons in
People
every
kind of
race,
hear
so.
what they want. It's...
But we have seen.
I think a lot of the rules are gone because Americans are so fucking stupid. Sorry, Americans. And because our system's so crooked.
That's what he
our
said.
political system's
That's what
so
Trump
crooked.
said. Trump said, what did he say the other day? I love the uneducated.
Yeah.
I did really well with the uneducated. I love them. They
See,
love
and
me.
then, him and Hillary are kind of on board. She's opposed to free college, too.
Well,
She's not opposed to. She's opposed to everybody having free college. If you make $150,000 a year, then
joking,
your
but we
child
can go.
should not go to college for
We can
free.
go there.
Yeah, no, I don't want to go there yet.
Not yet. Let's go.
One other thing.
Brian, where are you? Okay, yeah.
One other thing to consider, I think you're looking at this from the perspective of Donald Trump has thrown out all the rules, and I would just say that we've only learned one thing, and that is that a proto-fascist can indeed appeal to the Republican Party right now, and that's the one rule that we didn't know was going to happen. So he's able to appeal as a proto-fascist would appeal to his supporters, including in a way that is inane, that is uneducated, that is overly masculine, and that seems ridiculous to everybody else.
But
But otherwise, none of the other rules have been
It's
thrown out
working,
the window.
and if you don't notice, he's got so much. He gets 24 coverage on everything, even NPR. All I listen to is NPR, and all I want coverage of the fucking Democrats, of Bernie Sanders, of Hillary Clinton's plans and stuff. I want some more in-depth stuff on them. But no, all I can find is Donald Trump. Donald Trump. Every time I try anything, Donald Trump. Another story on Donald fucking Trump. What did Donald Trump do?
Who did Donald Trump piss off today?
Yeah, what kind of crazy shit?
What do Donald Trump's national numbers look like today, and what did they look like 4 months ago or 5 months ago? It's the same group of people with the same limited appeal. Everyone else doesn't like him. It may be enough to win in a 3-person race where nobody will drop out.
Right.
It's not enough to win a general election.
But what if Bloomberg jumps in then?
And then he would be conceding the election to either Hillary or, well, probably Trump. Yeah.
He's too rational a person. Even if he jumped in and then realized that
He
he was
said
gonna
he would
throw-
if Bernie or if Trump won. He didn't say if both. He said or. Well, that's what it sounded like.
If he jumped in and realized
I don't
that he
think
was
he
going to
said
throw the election the wrong way, he'd get out. He's a very super rational person.
Well,
Except he doesn't want you to drink soda.
All right, well, look, one
Fact check.
Let's hear
All right.
it. Yeah.
There was some establishment Democrats in the room who essentially said Clinton is more electable than Bernie Sanders. And I have a little something to say. Bernie Sanders, though, did claim almost all of the polls that have come out to suggest that I am a much stronger candidate against Republicans than is Hillary Clinton. Actually, PolitiFact ruled that false. But before you go thinking that Hillary Clinton's coming out on top, what about Donald Trump? We already said Donald Trump Donald Trump is the presumptive, or excuse me, the very likely Republican nominee. Back in January, PolitiFact looked at this, and the only national poll recently that they found in January to look at this question found that if Donald Trump is a Republican nominee, Sanders beats Trump by 15 percentage points compared to 10-point win for Clinton. So against Trump,
Sanders is actually more electable.
Sanders is more electable.
Don't a lot
according
of
to this
experts,
According to one article on Politico, right?
I mean,
No,
don't a lot of
if you look
experts
at the
say not to
trends-
pay attention to those kinds of polls this early, that it's not that indicative?
Well, here's the thing. If you're going to say that someone is more electable, then you shouldn't do it while contradicting empirical evidence.
Right, yeah.
Like, it's good to have some data to back up your claims, and
But I don't
when the
think
data contradicts your
And
claims,
I don't think
it's
Bernie was
Quinnipiac,
totally-
and I think PPP polls are the ones that, and like, these are ones that Steen calls reliable, and he's like the wonkiest dude I know, so I
Yeah,
think he's
yeah,
weird
I
on
can
that.
see
So, so and also if you look at it, I mean, like the PolitiFact article said it was false, but that was because it looked at him over like the past like 6 months or something, and before it was different. Sanders' point was obviously a lot lower when he had a lot lower, name recognition. Nobody knew who he was. Nobody knew his ideas. But the more recent ones over the past few weeks, like it's all been, the differences just been getting bigger and bigger. And,
Yeah, I gotta agree with Scott on this one. I mean,
it's
if
the
you look at
trend.
the
It's the trend
Huffington
of this
Post,
whole election is Bernie's only got one way to go and Hillary's only got one way to go, and
well,
the general will get interesting.
I don't agree with that. But if you
I
look
mean,
at the
it's just,
Huffington Post
Hillary- well,
poll
Hillary's still on
aggregator
top.
or the Real
Hillary's
Clear
still-
Politics poll aggregator, Bernie Sanders is doing better according to those polls against Republican candidates.
He's like Barry Goldwater in the damn.
But again, this is way
Said
far.
seven.
Like this is,
Yeah.
it's hard to say that that's going to be the case on election day.
Goldwater.
Yeah.
Just one other thing, and then I know we've got to wrap this up, but one other thing to think about is the long-term brand of the Democratic Party and what that would do to nominate somebody
Yeah,
who is
let's
a
talk about
Democratic
that.
Okay,
socialist.
I will
instead
talk.
of a
We're gonna
liberal.
talk about
Maybe that should be the next
Okay.
segment.
There we go. So I guess it's clear, backed up by recent polls, that Bernie Sanders is the most electable presidential candidate
against Donald Trump.
against the guy who we're pretty sure is going to be the nominee. And as I was saying, my original hypothesis, apparently, I don't know. I guess Brian, are you unconvinced? You're the only one. He already voted. You're obviously Hillary camp. I'm Bernie camp. You're unconvinced.
I'm
You're like
Hillary.
neutral.
He's gonna vote for Bernie. I could tell.
I'm Bernie camp,
He's gonna
but
vote for Bernie.
but there was a guy that wrote a book a while ago, and it was "Don't Vote. It Only Encourages the Bastards" was the title. I don't know.
Yeah,
I
PJ
may not
wrote,
vote.
right? Oh, come on, dude. That guy's
No.
he's a conservative
Don't be
asshole.
one of those people.
Brian, go back.
Don't be B.O.B. The Earth is round, man.
All right. We talk for C now. Back in the studio.
Check.